Aravali under threat. Protests erupt nationwide. Government insists hills are safe. Activists challenge the claim. Centre calls it misinformation. Ground report from the Aravalis.
Hello and welcome. A very good evening. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. You're watching To The Point. We come to you from the Aravali Biodiversity Park in Gurgaon. Now, exactly a month ago, just on the 20th of November, the top court of the country accepted a definition that was put forth by the government of India on the definition of the Aravali range, which in effect, not just environmentalists, environment activists, politicians, and a lot of people believe would be catastrophic when it comes down to the Aravali range. The government has now come out and said that this is all propaganda. There is a point of view that is being pushed forth which is incorrect, fear-mongering at best. But what's really happened is the Aravali movement now has caught on. Protests across the country, not just in the northern region, not just limited to where the Aravali is maximum, like the state of Rajasthan or even Haryana, but across the country. There have been people also who've been fighting for the cause of Aravali for decades now. Some of them would be joining me through the course of this discussion. But where are we today? Social media is abuzz with the cause of saving the Aravalis. The Aravalis bang in the spotlight. The government maintains all of this is propaganda. But is it? Take a look.
November 20th, 2025. India's top court agrees to a proposal by the government on how the Aravali Hills should be officially identified. Mountains older than living memory. Hill that quietly define water security, weather patterns, biodiversity, the ecology, and life across northwestern India. This one definition change could be catastrophic for India's oldest mountain range. A narrow definition of the Aravali Hills based on a 100-meter elevation threshold. What was presented as a routine technical clarification has since exploded into a national controversy. In just 4 weeks, the issue has moved far beyond court files and legal language and into public discourse. It has become a direct test of India's environmental protections laws and how fragile they may be. And this time, the cause of the Aravali is being fought by those nurtured by it. From Jodhpur to Udaipur, from Pali to Narayapur. Protesters have turned out in large numbers, accusing the government of quietly weakening safeguards for one of the oldest mountain systems on Earth. What began as a regional concern is now a growing nationwide resistance.
तक इसलिए किया है कि खनन को रोकने के लिए ये रिपोर्ट दी गई है, पर ये नहीं है। 100 मीटर से अगर कम वाली आप पहाड़ियों को हटा दोगे तो खनन अभी से चालू हो गया। आप जाके देख सकते हो जेसीबी चल रही है। और मैं तो कहना चाहती हूँ जेसीबी चलाने वाले उन सबको सोचना चाहिए कि ये जेसीबी नहीं चलाए वो लोग।
मोदी सरकार जो ये कहती है कि एक पेड़ अपनी माँ के नाम पे लगाए और आज हमारी पूरी अरावली काटने पे तुले हुए हैं, इसका सहयोग हम नहीं कर सकते। और जनता इतनी पागल नहीं है जिनको पता नहीं चल रहा है कि ये क्यों कर रहे हैं और ये प्रॉपर्टी कहाँ पे जाने वाली है।
But the first warning signs did not come from protest. They came from online scrutiny. Students, environmentalists, researchers, and concerned citizens began dissecting the fine print on social media. Questions mounted, doubts spread, and soon #SaveAravalis was trending across the country, forcing a technical decision into the glare of public debate. As pressure intensified, the political battle lines hardened. Former Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot warned that redefining the Aravalis could open the back door to dilution of environmental laws. Aditya Thackeray echoed those fears, accusing the government of once again prioritizing development over ecology. Faced with mounting outrage, the government issued a clarification, insisting that nothing changes on the ground. No dilution of protection, no green signal for mining. But that reassurance raised an even sharper question. If nothing changes, why change the definition at all?
4 states, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Haryana and Delhi, all have BJP governments. There is no reason why we should allow them to be destroyed in this fashion. Illegal mining is rampant. All those who are responsible must be taken to task.
सरकार इकोलॉजी और इकोनॉमी को साथ साथ लेकर के चल रही है। जो झूठ बोल रहे हैं उनका झूठ बेनकाब धीरे धीरे हो रहा है और झूठ के कोई पैर नहीं होते हैं, वो अपने आप ही अपने ही झूठी चीजों से समाप्त हो रहे हैं।
1 month on, the lines are clearly drawn. On one side, the government calls it administrative precision. On the other, citizens and activists see it as the first visible crack in India's environmental firewall. This is no longer just about the Aravalis. It is about how far development can be pushed before protection quietly disappears. Bureau Report, India Today.
So what was that one change in definition that has led to such a backlash coming in from environmentalists, activists, regular people, where it came down to the definition, or the narrow definition of the Aravali range with the 100-meter height? We'll explain that to you. Take a look.
Not by bulldozers, not by dynamite, but by redefining a word. India's oldest mountain range, the Aravalis, the ancient green shield of North India, now faces its gravest threat yet: a razor on paper. A recent interpretation by the Supreme Court on what qualifies as a hill in the Aravali range has set off alarm bells among environmentalists, lawmakers, and conservationists alike. Under the new reading, only land rising more than 100 meters qualifies for legal protection. An internal Forest Survey of India assessment paints a devastating picture. Out of 12,081 mapped hills, only 1,048, a mere 8.7%, meet this threshold. This means only 90% of Aravalis could now lose statutory protection. The Aravali Hills play a critical role in Delhi's air quality by blocking fine pollutants like PM 2.5, arresting sand-laden winds, and serving as vital wildlife corridors. This natural defense is essential in a region already gasping for breath. Or will the Aravalis vanish, not from the land, but from the law? Bureau Report, India Today.
Let me take a moment and tell you exactly where we're rolling from. We come to you from the Aravali Biodiversity Park in Gurgaon. And if you actually look back, by the nature of this, the hillocks here are not really over 50 or 60 meters. So this would not be Aravali range by the definition of the top court of the country. We have with us men and women, good men and women who fought this long battle for over years now, where the Aravali range comes into question. It's in the spotlight right now. It's, caught up with the youth of the country. But these guys, this lot, has been fighting it out for years. Aravali's found its moment in the sun. Will something good come off with what we are witnessing? Let me quickly cut across to our panelists this chilly evening at the Aravali Biodiversity Park. I'm joined with, starting from my left, Jyoti Raghavan. She has been part of the core team member, Aravali Bachao Citizen Movement. Mr. Harinder Dhingra, social and environmental activist, I also have with me Vaishali Rana. She's an environmentalist, a conservationist, a trustee at Aravali Bachao Citizen Movement. On my right is MD Sinha. He's former Principal Secretary, Government of Haryana. I also have with me, right on my right-hand side, Lieutenant Colonel Oberoi, Managing Trustee, Aravali Bachao Citizen Movement. Which one of you, wants to start this? Where it comes down to one very basic question, because today, after the backlash, after what is now slowly turning into a movement, we are standing in Gurgaon, or rather sitting in Gurgaon, but not very far away from where we are. There are multiple protests which are taking place, where the civil society, people who are nurtured by the Aravalis, have actually picked up the cause of the hill range. Protest in Alwar protests, and we're putting those visuals out in Udaipur. You guys have been fighting it out in Delhi, some of you legally as well, activists. The government would have us believe today, and one of you can start this conversation, that this is all propaganda, that this is fear-mongering, the Aravali is nicely protected, and all of this is just the active imagination of certain activists and propagandists. Who wants to start? You want to start?
You see, there is a Aravali definition by Minister of Environment and Forest, which is dated 1992, 7th May 1992, which says any pahad in Gurgaon, Faridabad and other adjoining areas is Gair Mumkin Pahad, Gair Mumkin Jod, Gair Mumkin Road, Gair Mumkin Rasta is Aravali. Now, the Supreme Court in its judgment has not addressed this issue. At para 14 of the judgment of 20th November, the Supreme Court says this judgment is valid only for the mining purposes only. You can't differentiate Aravali in mining purposes. You can't differentiate for Aravali for housing purposes. You can't differentiate Aravali for some housing sector purposes. Aravali has to be Aravali. If you can damage Aravali by building farmhouses, building housing projects, and then don't allow mining, it will not help it. If you allow mining and you don't do this, the same thing is going to happen to Aravali. So the government is not stating whatever the facts are. Facts on the ground are that basically Aravali is going, the environment is going, everything is going with this order if it is implemented in toto.
Would you want to come in?
Basically, the fundamental question is, why are policy, old bureaucrats, retired bureaucrats, people who have dealt with policy, bothered about it? Almost every retired forest officer or senior officer is against this. The proof of the pudding lies in its eating. Let's examine this area. This is a 400-acre patch of regenerated Aravali Hill, which is not entered in the revenue record as Gair Mumkin Pahad or anything else. It is not recorded as forest. So if you take this order coupled with the Forest Amendment Act, there is no statutory legal protection to this. Tomorrow, if the MCG wants to build a Disneyland here, there's nothing to stop it. And this will be multiplied ad infinitum all across the Aravalis. So the question is, why do you do anything where there is no need? As Mr. Dhingra has pointed.
Mr. Sinha, to give a definition to the Aravali, was there a need that 100 meter and above is Aravali, 100 meters and below is not Aravali?
It is a very perverse application of Richard Murphy's classification. In 1968, Richard Murphy came up with the classification of landforms. He, in fact, made 3 classifications of hills. On topography, which is the 100 meter they are using, on structure, and then formations. I can today classify the Aravalis in 3 types, including just using the Richard Murphy classification. The formation itself of the Aravalis, do you know that the Aravalis stretch not from Gujarat to Delhi only, they stretch from Gujarat to Haridwar. The bedrock which formed out of the collision of the craton, the Bundelkhand and the Marwar cratons, in what became the Aravali craton, stretches straight away in a single piece from Gujarat till Haridwar. And what you see today is only the weathered outcrops. So it is a single range. The division of this range is not needed. The 1992 notification of the Government of India gives as Mr. Dhingra has pointed out, gives a very good working definition. The Gair Mumkin Pahad is a term that every villager in a Aravali villager recognizes. It's been used for last 400 years. The committee's report itself says very clearly that there is complete conventional understanding on what constitutes the Aravali's in all these 4 states. There was no need for a definition.
Definition, what the...
Why they gave the definition?
Because if they say that every state has a different definition. For example, they say Rajasthan is already following the 100-meter parameter since 2006. That is what...
This is the wrong thing. Rajasthan gave an affidavit in the court that 100 meters should be this thing at the time of Gehlot. Then Supreme Court within 3 days, only for mining, in 3 days, Supreme Court rejected it. The same papers have been picked up by certain people for certain reasons. Now you tell me, what was the point when the Supreme Court is justifying in para 9 that there are different yardsticks for Aravali in 4 different states, so we must make it uniform. Right. Uniformity cannot come with a scale. You see 100 feet, 100 meters, 99 meters, 97 meters, it cannot come. You see, there is this judgment is contradicting the Govardhan judgment of 3 bench of Honorable Supreme Court. Govardhan judgment says that flora, fauna and wherever the water recharge is there is part of the hill. It comes under for this thing, PLPA. So if they are saying that, so how they have overcome that without addressing that Govardhan judgment? This is a contradiction.
I want to come to 2 points. One, of course, I'm going to, Jyoti, and I want to bring you in on this, on what what the government says. So they've put out a concerted, release on social media which says, propagandists say the Aravali is being weakened. Here are the facts. And this is what the government says, it's come from the BJP Twitter handle, X handle. Says, Aravali Green Wall project implemented at scale. Forest revival and groundwater recharge has been prioritized. Desertification halted through ecological restoration. Native species restored across degraded landscapes. Geotagged plantations ensure transparency and accountability. Scientific monitoring with court-mandated safeguards. The Aravali is protected.
If they have done all of that, then why the current situation? Why we are suffering in, 500 plus AQI? I would like to, they are saying that we are, doing a propaganda or we are misleading people. I would like to say that it's them who is misleading, who are misleading the people. I think our Environment Minister also said there is no illegal mining taking place in the Aravalis. I have been on ground working, we filed a case in NGT against illegal mining in 2022. And I have personally gone to various parts of Rajasthan and, recorded large-scale illegal mining happening. We were there to gather evidence. And in many parts of even Gurgaon Aravalis, we saw the scale wasn't as big perhaps, but it is taking place. So my concern is, if this is the situation when mining is still illegal, what will happen if it becomes legal? And we are already struggling in 500 plus AQI, while the Aravalis still stand. Yeah, and while the Aravalis still stand, what will happen if they, if such an order gets implemented? And
Completely agree with her. You see, I had put up the photos. I have taken snaps from Nuh, adjoining Gurgaon.
Yeah, that's where we recorded.
One hill has gone missing. One hill. One hill has gone missing. We have brought it to the...
It's not just that. You're right there because, I just put couple of facts out.
The points you raised.
Right.
In government, there's only one fundamental thing. What is the budget? The minister has not given any budgetary allocation. There's no facts in those statements. They are just general statements.
Just generic statements.
Yeah, I can assure you from my knowledge in Haryana, there is no budgetary provision in the Green Wall project.
So you're saying there is no budgetary provision in the Green Wall project. I'm coming to you.
At least in Haryana.
I am witness. I have a letter. Not even 1 crore. I have a letter of that even they asked 2 crores, it was rejected.
All right, so the government's point 1 is that there is a Green Wall project and it's being implemented. You're saying that's propaganda because there is no money, there is no budgetary allocation for that.
They map the area. Where they want to make this Aravali Green Wall project?
I want to come.
How much area they want to take under it?
The other technical point. There is no space. They say 5 kilometers from the Aravali will be the Green Wall. The entire stretch in Haryana is privatized. It's all agriculture. You cannot raise a Green Wall along the Aravali. You could only plant or rewide the Aravali portion.
Okay.
There's no space.
You're saying that is propaganda. So you're saying it's the government's propaganda here.
Instead of Green Wall,
The minister is there, forest minister, has built a farmhouse there in the foothills of the Aravallis. I have mentioned. Yes, and I have mentioned. I have mentioned this in before Honorable Punjab and Haryana Court. I have sent that order copy to her. They have asked for a reply from the government. It's on the facts.
Okay, no, these are revelations that are coming out. No, these are revelations. Okay, you're saying it's, no, we'll follow it, sir. Right. Okay.
They asked for the High Court judge to inquire it. Now they asked the comments of the government. This is something very serious. Will they make a green corridor?
To get it, but I just want to talk about the other aspect, because and Vaishali come in on this as well, and Colonel Oberoi, you can also come in. Why was it that the top court of the country ignored the Central Empowered Committee, which the court had only appointed, the report of the CEC? Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are more in tune with these reports, but as per that report, in 2018, the CEC, which was constituted by the top court, says 25% of the Aravalli range has been lost due to illegal mining since the last Rajasthan mining census, which was 1967-68, correct? The second thing is, of 128 hills of Alwar district in Rajasthan that was sampled from the total 2,269, it was observed that 31 hillocks have completely vanished. That's also correct. Now, as per the state of Haryana Aravalli Citizens Report, Para 1, out of 7 Aravalli districts in Haryana, the 2 districts, Charkhi Dadri and Bhiwani, where licensed mining can take place, has wiped out most of the 2-billion-year-old ecological heritage of India. Is that correct?
Yeah, most of
you are at the site.
See, mostly Charkhi Dadri, most of the areas in Charkhi Dadri, the hills have gone because of most not all, but most of them. So, to be very honest, there were very few hills there, but whatever was there has gone. So actually now we always say that the only 5 districts have hills.
So the licensed miners are doing illegal mining over there. We were there, me and Colonel Oberoi were there, and we must have heard at least 15 blasts which were being done, and the mining is going on below the prescribed depth, Underground aquifers have burst open, the mining pits are filled up with water, they're using DG sets and suction pumps to pull out the water and go further down. And all of this has been submitted in CEC, the Centrally Empowered Committee you were talking about. We gave a representation.
But my question is, and I think it's a valid question, it's the top court of the country. Now, Colonel Oberoi, why is it that the top court of the country ignored its own CEC that it had put together, the report of its own CEC? They should have looked at the report and,
It ignored its own 2010 order. Yes. In 2010,
the Apex Court had completely negated and directed that the FSI shall not take into consideration the 100-meter criteria.
Colonel Oberoi.
Been in the Supreme Court for last 30. I've been in the Supreme Court for last 33 years. I know the in and out of the working. Now, what has happened is that some honesty, facts, these have become illusory. So now what happens is, what is the picture that you can paint and get away with? So this is probably what is going on. But I'm telling you, from today onwards, or 2-3 days back onward, taken an oath that it will not be allowed to happen now onwards.
It will?
Not be allowed to happen now onwards. We have lots of ammunition, as I put it.
You have ammunition?
We have been on the ground.
Okay.
We have, all of us, been on the ground. We have...
You're talking like an army man. We have lots of ammunition.
Our team has 500 videos of Rajasthan, Haryana, and we have been on the site.
Like I said, you've been fighting the good fight for a very long time. Suddenly everyone's talking about Aravallis, and let's hope it's the moment, that it's come to fruition.
Mining is illegal, one hill goes. And if it becomes legal, what will happen?
In 1991, I joined as a young professional in Faridabad. Right. And what she is saying was happening there. The silica sand, the best quality silica sand used to be mined there. Silica sand, you must appreciate, is the actual aquifer. So they used to pump out the water, dry it 5-6 foot, and then mine it. Then next day again pump out the water. So the hydrology of the entire district was destroyed, and it has not recovered till date.
So Mr. Bhupender Yadav should focus on the illegal when he says that no, we will check this and all those parameters, and we have a proper enforcement will be done. It is
But Jyoti, do you think that moment has come? You know, sometimes you need that one catalyst. Maybe this ruling of the top court of the country proves to be that one catalyst, because, you know, it's not just the media that has woken up. And I'm sorry, yes, we have just about woken up. You guys have been doing this for years now. But you can see it in social media, you can see it with the youth, you can see it with these organic protests that are taking place across Rajasthan, Haryana. Do you see that moment has come? Of reckoning, possibly.
Preeti. And I think it's government's bad luck that the timing of this order has coincided with a situation where we are seeing the worst possible pollution, and everybody is at the receiving end. It's not just the poor people. There's no class. Everybody is at the receiving end, and now people are waking up what we stand to lose if Aravali's go. We have been saying this for eons, that Aravali's are
Encapsulate for us. What is it that we stand to lose?
We stand to lose.
Like the whole ecology goes.
Yes, whole ecology. And I keep saying this, that, everybody, when we talk of any ecological or, any such disaster, we only measure the damage in terms of the impact it is going to have on humans. What about the massive biodiversity we stand to lose? Aravali's has over 400 recorded species of animals, almost 300 species of birds, 100 species of butterflies, and n number of reptiles and other insects. They all go, and if they go, we must realize that our survival also depends on their survival.
I'm going to take just final comments from all of you, because it's something, at least, we have, as the India Today group, we've taken it over as a campaign, and we're going to hope we see it to fruition, which we will. That's our endeavor. But Mr. Dhingra, would you want to come in? What do you hope to happen in the next? Do you think at least this order will be rolled back? There's enough pressure.
It has to be rolled back, because nothing is against the public opinion. Public opinion is against this order. And survival of the people is against, because of this order, survival of the people has become a question mark. So order has to go back. And my slogan is Save Aravali, Save India.
Save Aravali, Save India.
If you want to save India, you will save.
Save
It
Aravali.
must be rolled back, because there will be a mass exodus from here. People don't be able to live here in Delhi NCR. Even Haryana won't be an agricultural state if the Aravalis are gone. Neither will be Punjab, nor will be the base of Himachal. Himachal Pradesh is also going to get affected by this. There will be mass exodus from here. We read about river Saraswati drying up and Harappan culture. People cannot. They say it was climatic conditions or something like that. So this is what.
This is that. We've reached that same precipice of exactly the same thing.
What will happen? Yeah.
Sir, Mr. Siddharth.
For 15 years, since 2010, the Apex Court did not accept this 100-meter criteria. The present judgment records in para 31 that the government has submitted that the present criteria will include more areas than the earlier criteria of 3-degree slope by the FSI. Data that has emerged or leaked indicates that less than 1%, there are only 1,048 hills out of 1,19,000 hills spread over the entire 15 districts of Rajasthan, which are above 100 meters. The government instead must come out with the data. They must allow the FSI to release the data, direct their officers to release the data. The entire issue can be settled in 1 minute. Release the data, दूध का दूध, पानी का पानी हो जाएगा. Why? The entire order then is based on a false premise. Submissions which are deliberate are perjury. And if the submission is a wrong submission, then the review is mandatory.
Overcome. Definitely, because this is that straw that broke the camel's back. This is the straw that broke the camel's back. Mind me, and I am getting calls from Gujarat. I am getting calls from Rajasthan. I am getting calls from Kerala. Can you beat it? That we are also, and they have made a song in Malayalam, which they have sent to me.
See, Karan Sahab,
Everybody in the country is agitated that tomorrow will be Western Ghats. Thereafter will be Hasdeo. There's going to be chaos in this country if we allow Aravalis to go. We are not allowing it.
We are not allowing
We
it.
are not allowing it. And today morning, I have sent a notice to the government of India and the geologists and everybody in this country. I want 76,000 square kilometer Aravali's biosphere to be declared as a UNESCO Global Heritage Site, and I will get it done by 2026. I'll change my name otherwise.
You change your name otherwise. It's okay. No, we're not going to, you don't have to change your name, but we're going to we'll get it done. And I think let's end with that. We won't allow it. And, let's stick with that. And I think usually the media is always told to take a very neutral and unbiased stand, and we can't help being biased. We're not going to allow it. We're going to stick by the side, the good side, which is here. But thank you, all of you for taking the time out and joining us this evening. We're going to slip into a quick break. When we return, because there's a fair amount of politics at the back of it, we're going to go and speak to some of the politicians. We've spoken to the environmentalists, the activists, those who are fighting the legal battle. Let's speak to the politicians after. All right, Jai Aravali. Thank you. We come to you from the Aravali Biodiversity Park in Gurgaon. It's a lovely chilly evening here. The sun is practically set. You heard the environmentalists. You've heard those ones who've been fighting the very good fight for a while now, where the Aravali range is concerned. While, the nation has erupted with cries of Aravali Bachao, the government and the environment minister would have us believe that all of this is pure propaganda and fear-mongering. Is it so? Let's get into a quick political face-off this evening. Joining me is Mr. Raman Malik, a spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party. I have with me Dr. Anand from the Congress as well, who's joining us here. Mr. Malik, all right, sir, leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Welcome for... Perfect, sir. Right, sir, corrected. But thank you for taking the time out and joining us, Mr. Malik. Mr. Malik, your party, your government would have us believe all of this is sheer propaganda and fear-mongering. The Aravalis are completely safe. In, the handle X, social media handle of the Bharatiya Janata Party tweeted out a full list where they said all of this is propaganda by propagandists who are speaking of Aravali. They begin with the fact that the government's done enough to safeguard the interest of the oldest, mountain range in living memory, where they say that they have, number one, they've given various reasons, Mr. Malik. One of them, they say, they've quoted that the Aravali Green Wall project has been implemented at scale. Mr. Malik, there is propaganda and then there is rhetoric. I'd like you to, just to inform you, we've been researching all morning. We've made multiple calls where the Aravali Green Wall project is concerned. While the government would have us believe it's been implemented, there have been zero budgetary allocation to that project. That project doesn't stand on ground, sir. So who is playing the propagandist and indulging in rhetoric is quite clear.
Preeti, you have to understand one thing, that sometime back also, about 15 odd days back, there were 6 wise men who traveled north and west. The northwest of the world, that is known as the US and other places. They had their in-depth training on certain issues, and these so-called wise men, who are also journalists, who happen to be journalists, had a particular task and which they are trying to implement. Now, having said that, I need to understand something. When there is a moratorium on any new licenses, when there's a requirement for a proper definition of what Aravalis are and how Aravali actually works, and the fact that the entire geotagging and the satellite imagery, all these kind of things are being taken into consideration, how is it that this propaganda is being tried to be served on a platter? That is one point. The second point is, I was watching another interview of retired Chief Justice Gavri, and he very categorically said that these are old, new reports all mixed in, and they have taken into consideration whatever the old reports were, and still there are certain things which need to be implemented before the final conclusion happens to this case. So one point, another point which comes out is that the dish has been served pre-cooked. It's not completely baked right now. Half-baked truths. The third most important point is that over a period of time, the uniformity in the description of what Aravalis are and what Aravali should be and how it should be treated has been a vacant grey spot. Mr. Gehlot also for a very long time was wanting that the government as well as the Honorable Supreme Court comes up and gives a very clear definition on this. Now, the whole point is, what is the contention? The contention here is that there is a perception that this might be misused. Well, the 302 has been there, IPC 302 had been there. Had people stopped, doing those acts? No. But the acts and the governments...
No, but Mr. Raman, allow me to come in. That's a very simplistic way of looking at it. You talk about this as being propaganda. Let me say it for what it is. Because right now it does seem that the government and the environment minister is indulging in propaganda and fear-mongering on the other side. And why I say that, sir, let me come back to the hard facts. Because number one, the government would have us believe that a green wall implemented project is in place to protect the Aravalis. We are saying that till now the government has made zero budgetary allocation to the green wall project. How has it even been implemented with zero budgetary allocations? Let me, you talk about geotagging. On 21st July 2025, sir, the Environment Ministry replied in Lok Sabha that Rajasthan recorded 2,096 cases of illegal mining across 20 districts in the last 5 years. Accountability gaps that geotagging alone may not address. Let me also tell you, sir, 2018 report by the Supreme Court appointed CEC says 25% of the Aravali range has been lost due to illegal mining. All of this is just fear-mongering, sir? Peddling of an agenda?
No.
When is the government going to wake up?
Preeti, not at all, not at all. You must understand this illegal mining is not just a curse or a sin that is being done by humans to Aravali. It is also there in Punjab, in various rivers, riverbeds or other states which are there. Himachal, to be very clear.
How does that make it right?
Illegal mining. No. Please let me finish, Preeti. The whole point is...
How does it make it right? How does it justify this?
No, it does not. Who's saying that it makes it right? All that I'm saying is that this is a curse that we humans are doing on the nature. And for these facts only, there has to be a uniformity which must, and that Mr. Ashok Gehlot has been categorically saying for a long time that laws across the Aravali range should be similar so that there is a uniformity and interstate coordination also develops better. Now,
I love it, Mr. Malik, when you bring in Ashok Gehlot at times of this, because I would think the Congress and Mr. Ashok Gehlot would be the last one you'd want to quote. But having said that, stay with me. I want to bring in, Dr. Anand, who's also with me from the Congress spokesperson. So the fact is, it's a little rich coming in from the Congress today to say that the BJP and the government is ruining the Aravalis. This is, they're going to mine it away. There's equal compliance. Your party was in power, and I'll give you an example. In the year 2006, Rajasthan has been following the 100-meter definition. Of course, the Supreme Court later came and overturned it. But this is what your own government in Rajasthan wanted. They wanted the 100-meter definition.
Hi, good evening to everybody. See, I'll start by saying Modi ji said, "Ek ped maa ke naam." So the question here comes, लाखों पेड़ और जो पहाड़ कट रहे हैं वो किसके नाम पे काटे जा रहे हैं? Point number 2, the petition in the court before the order 20th November clearly says 12,081 trees, Aravali ranges are in this parameter, and out of that 11,000 doesn't qualify for the 100-meter parameter. So the 9% only qualifies which are above the 100-meter parameter. Point number 3, they need to understand that this is a wall from the Thar Desert which protects the northern India, Delhi, Haryana, Rajasthan, Gujarat. So it is like a death warrant that this government is allowing through the doors of Supreme Court. Now, you talked about Congress government, Ashok Gehlot. See, we need to understand, we made sure this illegal mining is not getting legal by using the Supreme Court. Today, they are using, we can see the judges are found with cash of money and nothing is happening. Today, they are trying to make this illegal mining legal. by misusing this. Now,
You're
BJP.
attaching motive to the court. You must be very careful because that's contempt of court.
See, now today BJP mentioned that the minister mentioned 0.19% is the amount of total ranges they are opening for mining. But we need to understand it is 68,000 acres of land they are allowing for mining. So what are they opening it for? Who are they opening it for? Are they opening for realtors? Who are they selling the Aravali ranges to? Now this Aravali ranges, we need to understand, they gives us groundwater. They protects us from the dust, pollution. And viewers also need to understand they have protected us for 1.5 billion years. Now it is the time for all of us to protect the Aravali ranges. The BJP has 2-engine, 3-engine, 4-engine government in Gujarat, Rajasthan. Why are they quiet? Why are they not
But I'll give you an example. I'll tell you why I think it's a little rich coming in from the Congress. You were in government for a fairly long point of time. I'll give you a statistic, Dr. Anand. As per the state of Haryana Aravali Citizens Report Part 1, which was filed in just this May, and it talks about the 7 Aravali districts of Haryana, 2 districts of Charkhi Dadri, Bhiwani. Licensed mining operations have wiped out 2 billion-year-old ecology heritage which has been conducted, mining, which is legal in these 2 districts, conducted over the course of the last 40 years. How much were you in governance there? You know that better. I'll talk about Alwar, where in Rajasthan your government has been there. 128 hillocks of Alwar district in Rajasthan was sampled. Of total 2,269, it was observed that 31 hillocks have vanished from the time the survey took place in 1968.
See, when
Do you
Congress-
take any responsibility at all? No.
No, see, understand, when Congress government was there, we never made sure that the illegal mining was happening openly. We made sure we went to the government, we made sure that we try to stop the people who were doing illegal mining. Now today the question is, why are they allowing this illegal mining, making it illegal? Today the question here is, why they are considering 11,000 Aravali ranges? They are not coming in the parameter of 100 meter. The environment minister is saying 0.19% will be only allowed for legal mining. What is illegal mining? Who are they going to give the illegal mining to? Now they need to answer, what about the air pollution, which is in Haryana, Delhi, all these states? It's already 400 to 800 AQI. How are they going to protect us? They do not have a single answer. They do not have any credibility.
I want to give, the final word. Mr. Raman, come in and I want to give you the final word. Do you understand, Mr. Raman, does your government understand that public opinion, public perception is against you on this matter? Why this authoritarian dictatorship where it comes down to, oh, this is propaganda? No. What you're doing is wrong. You need to roll it back. The government needs to take a hard stand instead of calling the activists, the environmentalists, fearmongers or propagandists.
So let's.
Sir,
do
it
one
has,
thing.
the Honorable Supreme Court has accepted a report which was filed by the government.
Fine, let me answer. So the Honorable Supreme Court, according to Congress, is working under pressure of the BJP government. So what is being claimed is that the Honorable Supreme Court does not have its own mind and is under pressure. Now, in that case, like the Honorable High Court Justice from the Madras High Court is being begged that the Congress and other India alliances are begging for impeachment. Can they do the same for these people who have given the three judges who have given this order? Will they do that? The point is pretty simple, that this is a propaganda. The order clearly states that no new licenses and no renewal till the time the entire matter is put to rest. Now, that is a very clear thing. The other point is the number, your channel can do the research, the number of reserve forests, reserve bird sanctuaries, tiger reserves, and other such area of archaeological importance and others. If you take that out, there is a very minuscule number which is left which could be used. Even in that, there are certain parameters which cannot be taken away. Now, the last point which I would like to make and I would like to put forward to you
sir, I'll
is,
give you an example. Okay, make your point.
Faridabad has been one place which under Congress rule was made into trenches. The entire Pali Hill and the Pali Reserve, where you had so many forests and leopard trails and other things, that was completely taken out. Now, they will never take responsibility for this. And
Okay.
yes,
You have been in the
I
government
can
for
tell
the
you
last
very
11
clearly,
years. Today,
I
the
can
people,
tell you very-
the
no,
nation
no
is
mining
asking
has
you,
happened.
why are you
No
lying?
illegal
Okay,
mining has
accepting
you know,
happened.
this
fair
order.
point. Let's say the Congress screwed up, but you're calling all of this propaganda. I need to end the show. But Mr. Malik, you know, the government really needs to wake up and smell the coffee here. You talk about there is a very minuscule area of land. Let me tell you, we're standing right now, at least, and you don't live very far away from where I am, which is the Aravali Biodiversity Park. If I look behind the hillocks here, do not qualify the 100-meter definition of being called an Aravali, which now leaves this biodiversity park open for plunder, open
No,
in
no,
time,
no, no,
in
no, no. You
years
are
for a
mistaken.
Disneyland to be made right behind me.
No,
How does it matter?
underneath.
And this is what is, you know, most
The
people are
foundation of the
aghast with this
mountain or
order.
the
And I want to
hillock.
end it on that, on a very simple fact, viewers. Just step back and ponder. Across the world where it comes down to mountain ranges or, hill ranges, never has it happened that there has been a definition given to a hill range or a mountain range in terms of how it qualifies by the virtue of its height, which most say comes in from classic mining playbook.